Don't give up just yet. Give this video a shot. Hopefully I can give a bit of hope and motivation as to why you shouldn't give up on your art, why your art matters. If you're an artist or simply someone who loves to create, perhaps you're in a place where you feel like giving up. And trust me, I run in and out of these periods. I get overwhelmed by the amount of art that comes out. When I go through YouTube, Instagram, Pinterest or Behance, both the amount of work and the amount of talent is incredible and intimidating. It makes me question if there's even space for me, my art or my videos. Is it even worth my time to pursue? I've spent so many hours learning a craft. Will AI just take over? And looking at the bigger picture, does my art even matter? These questions bounce in my head every day, but I think there are ways to think about this and stories that might relieve a bit of the pain and give a push for you to not give up on your art.
Who do you think you are to tackle this project? You have no experience to. Who cares about your ideas? Everything's been done before. It's all of those self-sabotage things.
Creativity and art can be a lonely journey. You spend so many hours on something, and by the end of it, will it even be seen? Will all my hard work pay off? Is this even worth my time? I think these are valid questions to be asking yourself, especially before you have any sort of breakthrough. We see a lot of success stories of people writing their first book and selling 1 million copies, or a musician going viral and suddenly having a record deal. There are a lot of artists who never cut through, but is it because there isn't a market for what they're doing, or did they give up too soon? Steven Pressfield is a fantastic example of not quitting, not giving up. He had an internal feeling that he wanted to be a writer. And what does writers do? They write. So that's what he did for 17 years before ever earning a dime off his writing, and 27 years before his first novel was published. He didn't make a living from it until he was in his 50s. And it's not like it came easy for Pressfield. He had plenty of detours, odd jobs, big mess-ups in his life that kept him from really doing it. As he would say, that's resistance, trying to get in the way of your dreams. I think Pressfield would tell you that he wasn't sabotaged by other writers taking his opportunities, or that publishers just didn't understand him or didn't get his writing. That's all excuses. I think he would say he was self-sabotaging. He maybe unconsciously kept messing things up in his life, so there always was an excuse not to get to work. I heard in an interview him talking about how his big breakthrough actually came when he had the idea for the book The Legend of Bagger Vance. He thought how nobody really wanted to read a novel about golf, but that was the story inside him. It was authentic, and that's what it took. After the book's success, he promised himself not to pursue ideas that was trying to please the crowd, but to write the stories he wanted to write. That's a breakthrough. Not just the success of the book, but more importantly, figuring out that art is about bringing out what only you can, instead of trying to please a crowd or chase the next big trend. So again I say, I think it's understandable to ask yourself if it's worth your time. Is it worth 20 years without anything to show for it? My short answer is yes, and for me personally, I don't know how to just give up. I don't know what else I would be spending my time on. If I didn't have any creative pursuits besides freelancing for clients, I would get, and I will get, depressed. Having this YouTube channel, animation or art projects on the side keeps my mind a little bit sane. It gives me a sense of purpose. I don't know how or if I'm going to get away from working with clients, but I would like to try. So the counter question is, as Seth Godin would say, what would you do if you knew you would fail? He flips this common question on its head. For me, I would still be creating visual art, drawing or writing, because I love doing it. So do you love your craft so much that you will do it no matter what, even if you knew you would fail? And also to let the pressure off yourself a bit. Like Steven Pressfield, just do the work. Put your ass where your heart wants to be. The rest will follow. In a recent interview, Ed Sheeran spoke to this idea of just keep making things.
Pick up an instrument and just write, learn to sing, sound bad, write a song that sounds bad, and then write another, and then write another, and then write another, and then eventually you will get better at it.
I think another major struggle or concern for many creatives wanting to do their art full-time is finding their audience. When there's so much good work out there, how do you find your supporters? You have something Pressfield didn't have. The internet and social media. There might be even more competition, but there's also a lot more space for your niche. There are countless of examples of people who live off their hobby or creative outlet from sharing their work online. It has never been easier to share your work. Kevin Kelly taught us that all you need is 1,000 true fans to live off your hobby. 1,000 people out of 8 billion who will buy your products, support your art, advocate for you, or believe in you. I think we as humans can smell passion. When you're truly passionate about something, it's contagious. Other people will be attracted to it. Just go on YouTube. There are so many channels that I would never have predicted would work. But they do, because the guy or girl who creates the content truly loves what they are doing. Maybe the audience loves what they do too, or maybe the audience is just fascinated by what you can do, or the passion you bring. So what if it's not just the overwhelming competition you face from other humans, but computers? You know, AI. I might be wrong about this, I might be stupid and naive, but I've been following the discussions on Reddit and comment sections on YouTube and Instagram, and it seems to me that there are a whole lot of people who crave human creativity and truly dislikes this idea of AI taking over art, which makes me happy because I feel the same way. So as I said, I might be naive on this, but I believe that there will be plenty of space for human craftsmanship, whether that's painting, pottery, drawing, writing music, digital art, animation, and that's animation that's not created with prompts, something that actually requires some human creativity or craftsmanship. And I'm not just saying this to be anti-AI. I think AI is clearly inevitable, but the satisfaction of learning a craft, spending thousands of hours improving yourself, experimenting, having success and sharing what you create with the world is in my mind magical, and not something you will find with AI. That's just my personal take. I have tried things like Midjourney or Sora, and they are truly impressive, but I have no satisfaction afterwards. Nothing was created that I felt proud of. To me, these softwares are the programmer's art. They created something incredible, but not the people who write the prompts and wait for an image or video. But enough about my feelings about AI. Let's get back to Pressfield. He stuck to his craft. He did it for literal decades before any success. And that's persistence, dedication and grit. But most of all, I don't think he had a choice. This is his calling. He needs to write and will do so until he passes. As he describes in The War of Art, the muses are there. He just shows up every day to receive and write. His work has had tremendous impact on creatives in so many fields. The War of Art is my favorite book. I read it at least once a year. He has had and still have a huge impact on my thinking about my creative work. His work matters, but only because he kept writing. Otherwise, we would have been cheated of his contribution to the world. And I think that's the reframe you need to make if you're thinking about quitting or giving up. You and your art can make a difference in someone's life, but it may never get out there if you don't persist through the dips, through the lonely nights, and through no support or views. What artist does matters. It adds colors to our world, pushes our thinking, and provokes us. You will never have the privilege of this if you quit. Shift your focus from the response you are or aren't getting to just show up, do your work, improve your craft. Somebody will eventually appreciate it. And if you against all odds don't find fans, supporters, I will go out on a limb and say that whatever creative endeavor you chose to pursue in your life, it was worth your time. No matter the result or destination, just the mere act of creating something you can be proud of. Don't cheat the world of your contribution.